Hi, today is Christmas in 2014, and today I got an email question about how to graph sine and cos functions. The specific question was, is range the same as amplitude, and is domain the same as period? And those are two good questions, and I'm going to try to explain those. So we're looking at a sine graph, first of all, and we're just going to define what the amplitude is. So the amplitude would be the height of the graph at its tallest point. So that right there, that distance, is the amplitude. Call that A. Now comparing amplitude to the range, we would take the top number and the bottom number here, and this would become the range. Call it R, and it's the distance between the highest point and the lowest point. And so we would say that amplitude is not the same as range, but amplitude equals a half the range. That's not very good R. Let's fix it up. So amplitude being the height, and here, that's the amplitude. Range is the distance between the top point and the bottom point. So amplitude equals half range. Now moving on to domain and period. If we look at the graph here, the period of the graph is from, this graph is from the 0 to the point where it touches the 0 line over here. So a full curve is considered to be the period of the graph. Now the question is that the range? Or domain, sorry. Is that the domain? Now the domain is just the part of the graph that we're looking for. So I'm going to draw another graph. And see if we can fit it down here. Turn on the pencil. This is another sine graph, but it's not the same. In this one, the sine graph starts before the origin and ends somewhere over here. In this case, the period is the same. It's where it crosses the x-axis here, does one complete cycle, the up and the down and the back to the original x-axis. But in this case, the domain is from some point over here to some ending point over here. So you can define your domain as any point. You could say the domain is only from 0 to, say, some point over here. You could give it a number of 180 degrees or 70 degrees, and that would be your domain. But the period is always the length of one cycle in the graph. And I hope that clears things up.